Welcome back, everyone. Got some overlays changed out. Got Math out here so we could go to sleep finally. And now we're just going to talk about Zeke's new addiction. And then we're also going to talk about some devils with how they may or may not be crying a little bit. I heard you had a fun time, by the way, Co, at the end of your stream today, according to chat.
Oh, I did.
Okay, we'll get to that.
That's
Yeah. Zeke, how goes the AutoChess addiction? I did not expect you to get addicted to AutoChess, to be honest. So I'm curious to know what's hooking you about it.
I don't think anybody really. I mean, do you really see an addiction coming? I'm just wondering. Does anyone out there go like, I know I'm gonna be addicted to this, no matter what?
Rarely.
I mean, I think if I did crack cocaine, I could say I could probably see an addiction forming there.
If I did straight up crack, then yeah, sure.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Give it a
Yeah, no, I'm playing a game right now. I'm in the top 3. I got my tier 3 axe leading the way. I've also got I got Doom 2. I've got my whole front line. I'm pulling a Warrior 9, which seems like the easiest way to get to the top tier. There are definite counters for it, but late game, but early game, just fucking around with warriors is the way to go if you want to progress into the later stages of the game. And then you start learning, when you watch other people come at you, you're like, fuck, I got this whole front line, this is gonna be dope. And then they come at you and they just fucking manhandle you. They crush you. And you're like, what in the fuck? And you start looking at their pieces going, oh, so that piece counters that. And he does this and he takes away my magic and I can't use this and this and this. And there's more strategy to it than I expected when I first started out.
It's deep. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you started considering or taking into effect unit placement at all yet? In the sense of late game unit placement?
Oh yes.
Yeah,
because for sure.
It took me a while to understand how pivotal it can be, depending on what you're running and depending on looking at other boards because you just lost a round to adjust in real time the next round and then winning that next round with this same exact units across the board. It took me a while to understand that. By the way, we should probably also mention, we talked about AutoChess last week in terms of what the game actually is, but just to give a rough 30-second thing, how would you pitch this game, Zeke? What would you say? Because I did a piss poor job about it last week because I had only played 3 or 4 games, but you put some time into it. What's your 30-second pitch?
They call it an elevator pitch, just in case.
Yeah.
You're wondering.
I didn't want to use industry terms. We got a bunch of,
Nah, lingo. People love lingo. No, the elevator pitch for this game is a round-based automatic combat. So you don't actually have to press buttons like you would in WoW or anything like that. You don't have to I play it all with a mouse. A lot of people use a keyboard and stuff, but I just play it all with a mouse and it's fine. I programmed the keys on my mouse, the thumb buttons and the middle button to do mostly everything. There's only really 5 things that you press besides clicking on stuff. You can buy pieces, put them on the board. Those pieces fight your opponent's pieces, and the pieces themselves have different strengths and weaknesses and powers and synergies. So, for instance, I have 2 orcs on the board. One's an orc warrior and one's an orc hunter. Now, the warrior and hunter aspects don't link up, but the orc part links up. If there are 2 orcs on the board, then you get a certain buff. For orcs, they get more HP for each orc on the board, or each orc on the board gets a 200 XP if you have 2 of them, or more. But so on and so forth. And then there's mages, there's mechs, there's all kinds of stuff, and they all have different synergies. What I like about it is the tense moments are in the decision making of what pieces you want to purchase. I know it's going longer than 30 seconds. what
That's
pieces
fine.
you want to purchase, or if you want to save up your gold, because gold is power, basically. It levels you up, it purchases more pieces, and there's an interest every round.
Yeah, there's an
So
economy game behind
it's
everything. Yeah.
10% interest every round, win or lose. So if I have 10 gold, I will get 1 gold extra at the end because it's 10%, up to 5. So most players sit like towards the later half of the game, sit with 50 gold because the max you can get is 5 gold as interest. So you save that up, you level up, you get to a max of level 10, and your level decides how many pieces you can have on the board, and it's 1-to-1. So 9th level, I can have 9 pieces. 10th level, I can have 10 pieces on the board. And it's the strategy therein lies. It's a lot like Magic. The strategy lies in this works with this and this. Let's try and get those pieces, and then you kind of gamble on whether you're going to get them or not. Like you can get early game 2 great, awesome, fucking stellar pieces, and never see the third one to make the tier 2 version of that one.
Yep.
That's the gamble of it. And sometimes games are won and lost on that gamble, and I love it.
And I hate it.
I love that part, man.
Getting to round 23 and being like, all right, I got 50 gold. Let's see if I can get this tier 3 unit. And round 26 comes around, and I've spent all 50 gold in 3 extra turns not getting it. I'm just kind of like, well, I guess that's a loss. And then I close the game and load up another one. And after like doing that for about, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, it's like, I'm good. I understand this game. I hope this game becomes much like a MOBA became a MOBA and a BR game became a BR game. I hope a AutoChess game leaves the confines of the Dota 2 mod world and blooms into something else. Because a lot of times I also find myself just fighting kind of the UI. For example, like you can't click on a unit if it's right below this bar, which is not the biggest thing. You just move your mouse up. But there's small little things like that that are just a little bit of an annoyance. And so I would love for, and I think Valve has already like grabbed the team or something from the Chinese developers that have been making this. But I would love for anyone, whether it's a mobile game or a Switch game or just another PC game, to kind of take this formula, because I really think that they're onto something here. That there is a great core thing here that is easily approachable by a very, very large amount of people. Most people that play this game are just Dota 2 players that understand like, oh, okay, that's an Ogre Magi and he gives Bloodlust to people, so I understand what that is. And that's an anti-mage, so I understand that guy, every time he hits, will steal mana. And so they can kind of get it right away. But if they took that and put it into another game, and it's like, oh, yeah, this is Chuck. And anytime Chuck hits someone, they lose a little bit of... fuck, we're just going to call it mana as well, because that works for everything. He loses a little bit of mana as well, and you can synergize around that. I hope that happens. And I haven't looked at...
I'm saying Pokemon would make a good auto-chess, and that is absolutely true.
Anything that has like
crush.
a laundry list of characters in it, or a laundry list of known entities, I guess I should say, Pokemon would make a fucking amazing one of these. Dota 2, League of Legends, Pokemon, any type of game like that, for sure.
When you think about it, it's
Kingdom
a little
Hearts.
bit like Pokemon. It's a little bit like
is.
Pokemon. Like the short version, the 5-second version of this game is buy pieces, put them on the board, battle other players' pieces.
Yeah. Super Smash.
That's it.
Like I'm still going. Yeah. No, you're totally right. And the way, like it's the way that each unit plays off, and there's like synergy, whether that was, like developer luck or from the ground up, something that they had wanted. It's awesome. It's really cool to be like, oh, okay, well, this knight build works with this mage build. If I go like 6 mages, 3 knights, like that's really fucking strong. And the fact that they synergize is really cool to see that type of stuff. Like the metagame of this is deep, and you wouldn't expect it to be from face value. Like you would not expect it to be as deep as it is.
I got to give a lot of credit to Richard Hammer. Richard Hammer not only plays this as his new like main game, but I was playing a little bit, and I typed in his chat. I've been a sub of his for a long time. I typed in his chat something, and he goes, "Hey, dude, you want to play?" And I went, "Play with us?" And I went, "Yeah." He goes, "You want me to like critique your board and help you and stuff?" And I went, "Yes, please." And I was like, it was like looking at like a pond and going like, "Oh, I dip my toe in that," and then you like take a step and the pond is like 30 feet deep. You like don't even see it.
Oh yeah.
And he like went through all of this shit that just opened the game up for me. I'm glad I played a little bit on my own, so I got the basics down, so he didn't have to teach me the basics, like click here, do this. So I had the basics down, but once I had the base down, he's like, "Dude, this guy is dope. This guy's an auto take. This guy, fucking forget about him. He looks good, but he's not." One of the things I didn't know is like if you beat certain enemies in the game, that like every 5 rounds you do like a it's like a buy round where you fight NPCs, mobs, basically trash mobs, and they drop like items for you randomly. Didn't know that they would create stuff if you collected the certain ones and they were together and stuff. I had no idea. And he was like, "Oh yeah, check that out." And I went, "Holy shit!" There was the game does several different things.
Poor job. I didn't go through the entire tutorial, but I'm pretty sure the game never explicitly states that. You can like click an item and do show combinations and press B to like toggle that menu. But a lot of that stuff, like I was saying, it's not inherently visible from first viewing, which is not necessarily. I mean, it's a mod, right? It's not like we're talking about Anthem here. That's just fucking up. It's a AAA game that's been developed for 6 years. It's a mod that has like 5 people on the team. So I don't want to be too critical, but
yeah, that's the other thing. Like, there's a lot of like quality of life shit that I would like to see, and I say I would like to see because I want to refrain from shitting on a game that I've put so many hours in that's free,
right?
You know, and it's just it's a mod. It's not like an actual like money making game yet. Like, it does make money. There's ways you can spend money, but I'm just saying, like, it's free and it's tough to shit on because it's not like a release.
Right.
I would like to see drag and drop. I would like to see like, let me just drag my fucking enemies from my bench rather than click on them, click here, do that kind of shit. I want to just click on them, drag and drop. That's a quality of life thing. Because as it is now, you have to press Q, or in my case, a thumb mouse key, click on your bench, whatever item, whatever enemy, or excuse me, whatever pieces on your bench, and then click on the board where you want them to go and stuff like that. So a drag and drop would be awesome. There's just several little tiny things that I would like to see in the future. But that being said, it's easy to grasp the idea of it, but it's difficult to master it, I would say. Like chess.
Yep. A bunch of people in chat are asking where they get this. Download Dota 2 on Steam. It's free. And then once you log into Dota 2 and you're on the main splash screen, like literally in the it's dead center in the screen, it'll just say Dota AutoChess. You just click that, hit install, hit play, and then it'll queue into a game pretty much instantly, and then you're playing. It doesn't take really anything at all. You don't even have to restart the game. It just goes, which is cool.
It's a featured custom game. Yeah. And it's funny because in Steam it says you have 35 hours of playing Dota 2. I'm like, no, I don't have 0 hours, 0 minutes of that. But I do have 35 hours playing AutoChess.
Yeah, I queued two things. One, I queued accidentally into 2 Dota games thus far. Both of them ranked. Both of them I decided to play out. Both of them I lost. Because I have not played Dota in several months. I have no idea what the meta is. But that was really annoying. And 2, I don't know if Twitch cares, but streaming this game is a completely different beast for me personally, because I've streamed in the Dota 2 section before, and I think just like any MOBA game on Twitch, it has its fair share of toxicity in it. And in doing so, playing AutoChess's game, it necessarily doesn't have toxicity in it. It does incite like rage and salt when the RNG doesn't go your way, but every once in a while when you're streaming under the Dota 2 category, that toxicity from the normal Dota 2 viewer will somehow just pop into your chat. And it's really fucking shitty. So I hope that Twitch would somehow put like an auto chess section, like game that you can stream under.
They have a tag. It says Dota 2, and there's actually an auto chess tag that you can use.
Do you like you streamed this once, right? For like a couple hours. Did you see, or did you use that tag at all?
Oh yeah, I used the tag. I didn't get any. I didn't get any of the actual Dota 2 community though.
Gotcha.
Most of the people I got were people who either wanted to watch or this game in particular, or wanted to help.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I streamed, I don't know. If I had to like napkin math, probably 10 hours plus. And there was definitely, because it's like this, it's the snake eating self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Like toxic person joins chat, streamer reacts toxically to that. More people see that toxicity and feed on that toxicity. Streamer gets more toxic, and then it just keeps going like that, and then it's like, fuck it, I'm done. I'm not going to stream this game anymore. And that's ultimately what happened. I just stopped and played offline for 18 more hours or something like that over the course of 3 days. And then ultimately uninstalled it because I got my fill. But yeah, I think the game itself would benefit from just a full-on directory on Twitch. Because I know Hafu, Dyrus, Richard Hammer, there are people that sit in the Dota 2 directory that have absolutely nothing to do with Dota 2, but play AutoChess, and it's becoming its own thing. So I don't know if Twitch is listening, it would be a good thing, I think, for sure. But all that said, it has nothing to do with the game. That's more just like the aspect of streaming the game, which is very niche to begin with.
Yeah, and I rarely ever stream my addictions. Like I'll stream the first couple of hours when I first pick it up and learn it, and then the rest of the time it's all offline. It's like my fun after the work day is done, because it's most of the addictive games that I pick up are mindless. Like not mindless, so to speak, but they don't require. Well, turn-based stuff, magic, that kind of shit. Slay the Spire, like things that I've gotten like really hooked on, don't require a lot of fast movement or anything like that, and mostly I can play them with just a mouse.
Yep. Yeah, the manual dexterity required goes down for sure.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Well, cool. That's AutoChess. I'm sure it'll pop back up at some point on the show. But
it's free, so like if you want, if you're curious about it, give it a look. You do have to get Dota 2, but that's also free. So
yeah, it's all free.
As long as you don't mind people like looking at your Steam library, going like, "Oh, Dota player."
Yeah. The other funny thing is you mentioned that you can spend money. Apparently, and I didn't know this until I played with Strippin for a while. Apparently, you can go, or you could go. I think they've banned it now. But you can go to eBay and buy candy and then use those codes from eBay in the game to give yourself candy in order to get different looking couriers, which is the little like donkey on the screen.
Another quality of life thing that I would love to change.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and another thing that if this game ever branches out to become its own game could be monetized just like a Fortnite skin. Right. Like it would be a main money maker for whoever decides to rip this off and and put it in their own platform for sure.
Oh, dude, each of your own little individual units having custom skins.
Oh yeah. I didn't even think about that. Skins
Like
for the fucking
team?
units. Yeah.
Should have like packs where you can buy themes for all your units and stuff. Oh god.
Yeah, exactly. Just like Dota already is. That's a great point for sure.
Now that's something I would spend money on. Like if you're listening out there, AutoChess developers or whatever modders, if you get like everybody on your team gets the same little hat, or everybody on your team gets the same little vest, I'd be like, goodbye money, bye bye.
Yeah.
Great idea, Z.
Yeah. Zeke, what for me the most interesting parts of the game are the first 5 turns and the last 5 turns. The middle of the game is kind of like whatever, because by then, like people either have their win or lose streaks going on. But I'm curious if it's the same for you or if you just enjoy all of it. Oh, this is one of those things I'll have to repeat.
No, you said the first 5 turns and the last 5 turns. I'm sorry. I was like, I don't know what Tony means.
Oh, Tony is tiny. Tony is tiny. You have Tony right now. You just got tier 2 Tony. Tier 2 tiny.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was called Tony. Anyway, say that one more
time. The first 5 and the last 5, the last turns of the game are the most interesting parts. Do you echo that? Do you enjoy the middle turns? I feel like the middle turns are like dictated by that.
No, the first 5 are just boring as fuck.
Really? The first 5 like shape the game. The first 5 change and shape the entire game for me most of the time.
What?
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Like I rarely keep the first pieces I get.
Really? So you're buying everything and selling it, then that's dictating your board?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Like you start off with whatever piece is up there. They're all like one. You start off with 1 gold and you buy 1 piece and you put it on the board and you fight, and then you start like creating like synergies. If you get like a board or a purchase plate, I don't know what it's called, that pops up with like 2 of one thing, then you're like, okay, maybe we'll try this.
Oh, you mean like when the pieces pop up at the center? That thing?
Yeah, when there's like duplicate pieces. Yeah, that pop up in the center. Yeah.
For me, I see a lot of people like, why does JP like the first 5? Because it's the RNG of getting item drops. Like the items dropping from the piece to the beginning is the best part because the item drops. That's why I enjoy it so much, I guess. I did not even consider that, but yeah, I guess it's the RNG of seeing if you're going to get any items from those 3 creep waves. That's the thing.
Well, and the other thing is like, it's a lot of times I end up going warrior just because the synergies of other things don't pop up. Because with a warrior build, a lot of times you'll get into the top 3, and the top 3 is where you get like the candies, which are like the only rewards, which are skins for your courier, which is so stupid, but they mean so much, and they're so goddamn expensive.
They are
hours wise. For just to take a turn of the knob, like it's like a one of those plastic bubble like machines at like Walmart or whatever. You put a quarter in. Like you turn it 40, and like the most I've ever gotten from a round is 3.
And you're also capped at 10 per 24-hour cycle. So essentially, it takes 4 days to collect 40 if you're playing a lot to get.
But that's what you pay money for. Like you pay real money to get that shit.
Yep. Yeah. So.
Anyways, fun game. I mean, I recommend it. It's like give it a shot. Try it once. If it's not for you, it's not for you. And don't worry if you jump into it the first game and you have no fucking clue what you're doing. Watch my VOD. I have no fucking idea what I'm doing. They're no, you got to take it, put it over there. So I'm clicking on the guy on my bench. Like, no. You have to click. You have to press Q or click the Q box on the screen, and then click on the guy, and then put on. It's like, that's so stupid. It's like, yeah, but that's the way you do it. Okay, didn't do it. And I just I fucking annihilated my first time out. Second time out, a little better. Third time, basics down.
Yep, that's how it goes.
I mean, bare bones basic. Yeah.
It's good. It's a good addiction. I'm free from it though. I got a new addiction coming on Friday. So, let's talk about it. And I'm curious as well. I want to start this Devil May Cry portion. Why no Devil May Cry 1 or 2? Are they just the remakes bad or what? What's the
short answer is I didn't have time.
Okay, because everyone's doing Devil May Cry 3 and 4, but no one's touching 1 and 2.
Yeah, I originally wasn't even gonna play Devil May Cry 5, and then I decided to check it out. And by the time I said, you know what, like let's do this, it was too late for 1 and 2. Now I also was informed that 2 is actually, it's kind of interesting because they made Devil May Cry 1 and then they made Devil May Cry 3. There's actually no Devil May Cry 2. Interestingly enough, apparently it doesn't exist.
Oh wow,
It's not even there. They just skipped it completely.
interesting.
But for the lore purposes, I did go ahead and read the plot of Devil May Cry 1 to kind of need to know a little bit about the characters, to be fully caught up. But really, now that I played 3 and 4, I gotta say, like, the draw of the Devil May Cry series is not the lore and the plot.
No, not at all.
Not at all. I also thought the Devil May Cry series was a little bit more serious.
No,
Like,
not at all.
I thought it was like Dead Spacey, with demons and stuff. So the last week has been very interesting as I have learned to love my buddy Dante and Nero, who are excellent. And I played through Devil May Cry 3 for the first time. I played through 4. I just finished 4 today for the very first time.
Nice.
And I got to admit, man, they're really, really fun games. And I don't just mean fun as in fun to play. I just mean like they're so goofy and corny sometimes. They're like those animes that you don't want to admit that you really like, but you do. That's like, especially there was one scene in Devil May Cry 4 where like Dante walks in to basically fight this boss and they turn it into like this Shakespearean play. And I'm sitting here just like, how did you think of this? Like, this is so weird and just off the beaten path. But it was great. I loved it. So I kept seeing that happen over and over in the game where things would just be super corny or just dumb or way over the top. And by the time it was over, I was just like, it was just fun. It was just fun. It's kind of like Kingdom Hearts 3. It's Kingdom Hearts in general. It's kind of dumb, but it's also just kind of fun. Like, if you just let it be fun, it's pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was a really good time. And to address a little bit about what you said earlier, the second to last boss, I think mission 18 in Devil May Cry 4.
Oh yeah,
is dumb.
I remember
dumb. The boss is dumb. I haven't raged that hard in any video game encounter in probably years. Like, it just got me to the point where I was just furious. Like, I thought I understood the fight, but I didn't really. And the mechanics they want you to do are just like insanely just frustrating. Oh no, it's this dude in human form.
Oh.
Basically, fight the guy like right before, and he's like hovering around inside this like or maybe it's after. Actually, now that I think about it,
I remember
maybe it's after.
Big guy first.
Actually, I think because you fight. Yes, it's after. It's the human big guy, and then the little fight versus him. And then the Emperor bad big guy. So yeah, it's like in between those two sections. I think it's the last guy you fight. And yeah, this guy. This is the dude right here.
Yeah.
Oh my god, man! Like it's just the premise is that you're supposed to. He's got this shield, and you're supposed to grapple up to him and knock the shield off. And then there's like a grab stun you can do, but you can also just hit him. And man, I like everything I was throwing against him was just not working. It was not working, and I seriously fought this guy for like I don't think I died. I may have used a golden orb, but it seriously took me like 10 minutes of beating on this guy to actually get him down. Because this part, like when the shield breaks, he just is either constantly attacking you or constantly moving.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm sure there's but then you can finally get that. I'm sure there was a trick to it or something. I just didn't get. I wasn't really reading chat during it, which is kind of not what I normally do. Normally, I just glance over at chat and immediately see the gimmick, and I'm like, yay!
Yeah.
But in this case, I definitely didn't, and I just kind of like kept man-moding it and got very frustrated. So, but overall, even here's the thing. The game was so goofy that even when I was like raging out on this guy, like I wasn't really mad. I was just kind of like yelling because I was having fun and we were near the end, and I was just pissed, like. But I never got to the point where I was gonna like quit the game or do something differently. I just wanted to do it that way, so I just kept throwing myself at it until it happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, and even with this guy, the game is so much fun. Like it's just such a fun, entertaining game. And I gotta say, I'm super glad I played these two, because at the end of this, we watched the E3 trailer of Devil May Cry 5, which I didn't understand at all when I saw it the first time. I didn't know the characters, didn't know who the main guy was. Like it was basically the same like for the Kingdom Hearts 3 trailer when we first saw it. I was invested, so I didn't pay attention. But watching it the second time was really cool, and yeah, definitely very excited for DMC 5.
Yeah, the reviews are looking pretty good for it. What's up, Zeke?
The question I wanted to ask was, you're talking about how like ridiculous it was and all this kind of stuff. That's all on purpose, or is it like they're trying to be super dramatic and just it's laughably bad?
All on purpose. It's very obviously that's the thing. Like, not only is it over the top, but it's very purposefully over the top. Like the dude, like Dante and Nero have like some of the worst / best quips ever. Like they fall in both categories. You know, it's the kind of thing where you know he'll like slam a door in someone's face and he's like, "Sorry, I didn't hold the door for you." You know, and it's all that kind of
just
stuff.
One-liner central, yeah.
Lots of little one-liners, lots of little gimmicky things, just some weird, funny stuff. Like that scene I was talking about earlier with the play. Like out of nowhere, that stuff will happen where it's kind of you're just like you're watching like what is this?
What it is, Zeke, is it's Bayonetta before Bayonetta was a thing. Like Bayonetta's entire shtick is DMC, but with a female like character.
That's what I've heard. I've never played Bayonetta. That's apparently on the list.
Yeah, Bayonetta's great. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's good.
I've heard good things, so we're gonna have to give that a try at some point.
Yeah,
but yeah,
never played Bayonetta?
No, I've never played Bayonetta.
Okay, that's immediate. That's an immediate game you need to play.
I've been told
super good.
Yeah.
However, I will say like the port is funky. As far as like the resolution goes, like trying to get it to play in 1080 is a little weird, even on Steam, because it's on Steam, I believe now.
I think it is. Yeah.
Well, what I'll probably do is wait until like if there's a third one coming out, I'll probably wait for that, like 1, 2, and 3.
Isn't
like
it,
boom, boom, boom. I'm off for the first one.
Isn't Bayonetta 3 a Switch exclusive or something like that?
Whoa. That's a lot of boob for a Switch exclusive.
Yeah, Chat's confirming it's Switch exclusive. That's right. Yeah.
But is it 1080 on the Switch? Like when you dock it? Because I know on the thing itself, it's a different resolution from what it can be on your monitor. No, I'm talking about the Bayonettas that are already on there.
Oh, I'm not that again. I'm also not sure. I didn't play it on the Switch, so Chat will have to attest to that.
Yeah.
Another thing that was a nice surprise is I wasn't aware of some of the assets that some of the characters have had. Like I was not there were a few characters
talking about Lady,
very pleasant to play with at times. And what's also very interesting about the Devil May Cry series is they do not skimp on the camera angles.
No, those fixed camera angles are fixed for a reason in some situations.
They're not only fixed, they're like enhanced.
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah. It's been a long. I played these games like when they came out, whenever that was, years ago. Devil May Cry 4 had less fixed camera in room, correct? And Devil May Cry 3 had more fixed, but
fixed
moved
every so often. But there were so few of them that when you'd hit them, you're like, oh, it's a fixed camera. Like there's a few weird corners, where if you 1 pixel, it snaps. But then if you keep holding that direction, your character kind of goes up and back. So there was like this one part in this one level where I just could hold a direction, and my character would just kind of go like like between 2 different fixed camera angles, and I'm sitting there like trying to rip him out of it, but he was caught in some kind of camera angle portal. Like it was very strange. But no, most of the game was very open. It felt kind of like going from Resident Evil 2 to Resident Evil 2 Remake, except with a few more stuff. What was really interesting is a lot of people warned me about 4. Like as I was playing 3, they were like, oh man, he's gonna hate 4. Oh, he's not gonna like 4. And then I ended up playing 4, and I was like, this is great. Like the controls were better, the camera was better. I really liked Nero. Like I really felt like the combat was almost like a different game. It felt a lot smoother. Loved the charge up mechanic with the sword with Nero. Like there were a lot of things I really enjoyed about 4. So I was a little surprised. Now I do know that a lot of the issues with 4 is the fact that they essentially ran out of money during the end of it. So apparently like it's and I'm not kidding when I say this. The last level is basically a stair where each stair is like the bosses you've already fought twice again.
Yeah, I mean that's like standard.
Towards the end, it's kind of like, maybe they can afford that last. But yeah, I still enjoyed it. Even playing the bosses all 3 times, I still had fun killing them for the 3rd time. So, I mean, it just goes to speak, to the inherent fun involved in the DMC games. I feel it was a really good experience.
Gameplay's great for sure. Did you find yourself like always trying to go for the S rank and all that stuff, or were you just kind of letting that be? Or
I was mostly just letting it be. I mean, every so often, you can get into those flows where it's really fun to kind of just mix it up and go crazy and stuff. And I got the double S, more than a few times. I think I got triple S once. I only S'd a level a few times because mostly I was just doing it to kind of get through it for 5. So
yeah.
And also I was learning the systems too. There's the combat in DMC is pretty interesting in terms of like how you have to vary everything up and keep track of what you've done and what you haven't done and everything. So it was cool.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to say this, but it's fighting game-esque in a way. The combat, yeah, which is a lot of fun. So we mentioned the reviews for 5. Apparently, it's doing quite well right now, and people are speaking very highly of it. So I'm hoping it delivers in some sense. I don't know if I'll play it Friday. I think there's like early access or something to it tomorrow. That a lot of the embargo or something's up tomorrow. So I might check it out then, but we'll see. We shall see.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah. We'll see though. I hope the other 3 characters are fun.
I for the record, I have no possible idea what JP's talking about. But tomorrow morning at 8:30, we have a very special event on the channel that's unannounced.
There you go. Go check it out.
Wait a minute. Does this have anything to do with Devil May? Oh.
No, it can't be. It can't be.
Oh.
I specifically said unannounced, so I'm not sure what you're insinuating.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
It could be. I don't know. Oh, here's the ending of the game. Maybe we should just stay on here. Is this no? Because he goes like crazy. Yeah, that's not the end. Okay. Any intention of playing DMC at all, or just not interested because it's not like core?
Probably not. Man, DMC seems to be a very polarizing title.
I liked it.
Yeah, I was gonna say some people absolutely loved it, and then some people said don't play it, and like some people said please don't play it, which is very strange. So I may try DMC at some point, but from what I understand, this gets a little weird. From what I understand, Devil May Cry 4 came out. DMC was made to reboot the franchise.
Yep.
And then instead of continuing that, they made Devil May Cry 5.
Mm-hmm. That's accurate. Yeah. Yeah, DMC is a full-on reboot. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not it's different.
That's not great.
Yeah. I had a fun the final fight in DMC was really, really a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun with that. The rest of the game, it was Devil May Cry, but I really like the final stuff in DMC for sure.
I do really like that DMC was made by Ninja Theory though, because I like a lot of their games, so I may try it just at some point just for that.
I think you'd like it. It has enough of the combat perks that you expect from a DMC game, from Devil May Cry game, I should say, that you would enjoy. Just the combat in general is fun. So,
cool.
How's the My Time at Portia going? Are you done? Are you out of time? Or are you still addicted to it?
Portia is huge. I've played My Time at Portia over 30 hours now, and people are telling me I'm not even like a third through the game. Like it's really strange because like there's a few items I'm trying to build that require these components from this place called the Desert, and people will be hanging out in chat and I'll be like, yeah, I need this and this, and they'll be like, oh, just go to the desert and get that, and I'll just be like, oh, I haven't unlocked the desert, and without fail every time it's like, what? You haven't unlocked the desert yet? Like every time, and so yeah, it's really crazy. Just not necessarily how long it is, but just how much content there is. Like I yet have gotten to a point where I'm just like sleeping days to pass time. Like I basically always have something that I'm working on or wanting to do, even if it's just like replenishing stores or getting things working. But yeah, this game is just huge. It's huge, and I'm having a great time with it. It's Stardew Valley Plus in 3D essentially, or like I've been calling it. It's Stardew Valley Remake, like Resident Evil 2 to Resident Evil 2 Remake. It's Stardew Valley Remake. and that works in a lot of ways when you break it down. So it's been cool. It's been a lot of fun. I'm unfortunately having to take a little break from it because I've got Devil May Cry 5 and PoE, so that's going to fill a lot of my schedule. But I'm probably going to get back to it next week at some point. Yeah, it's been awesome so far. It's been a blast.
Yeah, we didn't. I want to circle back to this, but you brought up PoE. We didn't talk about your PoE goals when Mathis was on, but do you have? You said you wanted to at least try to tackle Shaper. Is that kind of what you're putting up?
I mean, I said it
yeah,
pretty much. Love to eventually kill Shaper, and maybe I'll do the big thing for me. My goal this league is to see if I like minion builds. Like that's what I've essentially been doing, is trying different builds and kind of like seeing if there's one I can really dive into. And I haven't found one of those for a while. Maybe minions will be something I like. We'll see. If not, maybe I'll try something else. But really, it's my current PoE goal is just to find something really fun to play and find something that I really want to take to end game, because I haven't quite gotten there yet. For some reason, I just always seem to run out of steam between 10 and 20. So we'll see. Maybe this will be the one.
All right. Well, we'll circle back next week. Maybe we'll see. And then when it comes to my time at Porsche, what is the day-to-day? Is it just kind of like what we talked about last week? Is there always another step in terms of the tech tree or the trees within the game in terms of just getting something bigger and better to craft something bigger and better to craft something cooler? Is that kind of the carrot on the stick?
There's actually multiple avenues of advancement. So you have like different workshops that you can upgrade around your place. They all go up different ranks, which unlocks new things. You've got land that you can buy, and that's a limiting factor as well. You've got a research component that there's this kind of procedural mining mini game that you get these things called data disks, or essentially like old AOL disks, and you can use those to get research. And those are basically progressing through. But yeah, I just got to the point in the game, and this is a little bit spoilery, but just to give you an idea about like what's going on here. I just got to the point in the game where while I was coming into town at the end of one night, the ISS or the like of it crashed into the planet. And then we went and we had to repair the damage from where it crashed. And then a robot popped out. And then we had to basically like assimilate the robot into society. And he's now a chef for the town. And I'm finding various upgrades for him and befriending him, so he will work for me.
Oh.
Just another day in Porsche.
Yeah, okay. I didn't realize it was that intense.
Oh yeah, and in terms of like the daily stuff, there's daily commissions that you can do. So every day you have something to build and give to someone. All the people in the towns can have quests. There's main quest lines that go through. Your resources are you always need something. So there's a bunch of different activities and things to do to get like the different things that you need. Money is a huge factor, so you can always just go out and make money. But yeah, there's always a lot to do in the game. And the best part about it is not only is there always a lot to do in the game, but unlike Stardew Valley, you don't have that ever-present time limit floating above your head. So you always have a lot to do, but you never have any pressure to do it. So it's not like that get up in the morning. It's like, oh God, what do I need the most? What do I need to do? Don't take any time to, run every place as fast as you can. It doesn't matter. You can just take it at your own pace and do it at your own, the beat of your own drum. And it's just fine.
Yeah. By the way, I found out why you don't have the desert yet, Co. I just happened to run into it in the VOD here. You just fished.
Just fishing. I did this for like an hour yesterday straight.
You were just fishing.
I got this awesome perk now that I, for some reason, didn't get for the longest time. But when you're fishing, that little red exclamation point, it'll show you what fish you're going to get. So you can just sit there while it cycles through all the common fish and then just pull up the rare fish. It's so good.
That's pretty good.
It's like fishing cocaine. It's fantastic.
That's pretty good. What is the fishing?
And yet he has 10 times the viewers that I have. What the fuck kind of world do we live?
You should play Fortune, dude. You should. That or become entertaining.
Ouch. Cold. Well, what is the?
I think watchable.
I will allow a rebuttal, Zeke. I will allow.
For real though. Like when this topic every once in a while comes up, as far as just viewership between all of us go, I bring up the point that like you can watch Co all the time, anytime. Me at work, probably not the best idea. Probably going to be wearing headphones if you live in a house with other people, like that kind of shit. So like that's like the distinction I make. Like Ko is like he's good all the time, every time. Like me, you might get your mom coming in going like, "Did I just hear cunt fart? Like what's going on in here?"
Well, yeah, a couple things. Also, to be fair, that also means you're probably a lot more entertaining during those NSFW times. So that's something important to mention. And also, to put it bluntly, Portia is a very watched game on Twitch. I actually get above my average afternoon numbers if I'm playing Portia. And honestly, Zeke, I bet you'd probably get above your average numbers if you played Portia too. Like it's like Stardew Valley. It's a really relaxing, chill game to have on in the background. All the music in it that's repetitive isn't annoying. There's not a lot of voice acting, so you can just kind of hang tight with the people you're watching. Like it's a very
I did
easy
play it though. Like I played like when it was still in early access. And is there something I'm missing? Like, is there something I'm wondering if there's new shit.
Well, the game's complete now, probably.
Yeah, it's 1.0. So,
I mean, I say that facetiously, but
you said you played early access. How far did you get, Zeke?
No, I mean, not very far. I played it for a couple hours, but usually, like after a couple of hours, I can get this sense if I'm going to like the game. Like after a couple of hours playing Stardew, I went, okay, I'm gonna play this. RimWorld, same thing. Like I'm bringing those up because those are games that I normally wouldn't think that I would enjoy. Like Stardew and RimWorld, like not my kind of games normally, but after a couple hours, it's like, you know what, I could see myself playing these games a lot longer. And I did.
It's interesting you say that because I actually skipped this game for the longest time for that exact reason. Because I would look at it and I would watch people playing it and I would go, this looks like it's kind of cool, but I don't know how deep it is. I don't know how long it'll be. And honestly, I'm not a big fan of the graphics. I'm still not. I love this game and I play it 4+ hours a day for weeks at a time. Still not a big fan of the graphics. But the thing that really kind of kicked it over for me is all the stuff that you do in Stardew Valley. You do almost all of it in this game, but they've made it so much bigger and more enjoyable. So like instead of just going to the mine and swinging, your sword with one animation against a couple enemies and, tapping some rocks every so often, now they have this huge procedurally generated abandoned mine that you can go into and dig your own tunnels with secret rooms. And like you have to find, all sorts of other stuff. And there's also ore in there. And then the combat section, there's actually dungeons in the game where like you go into a dungeon, it's only combat. You start on the first floor and you have to work through them. And there's bosses on each floor that are like big Dark Souls style bosses. Like it's just big. It's big. And for me, at the end of the second day, I was kind of like, okay, like there's a lot to do in this game. If you can get invested in the game, you have probably hundreds of hours of things to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep.
That's my time.
So,
we'll see. If I check it out, maybe, I mean, it's another one of those, like, it might take a long time before I check it out. Like, RimWorld was out forever until I checked it out. It took a lull in like game releases or stuff I wanted to play before I actually picked up RimWorld. I'm glad I did, but it took a while.
I'm just
wait. Are we on last week? This week? This is this week, right?
What? No, I spliced in last week's VOD there. We didn't have much to talk about, so that's why we're.
Yeah, it seems absolutely like 100% similar to the conversation we had last week. It's because you're watching a VOD.
Yeah, no, every once in a while we need to buff some time for the show.
I haven't played my time at Portia for over 100 years.
It's true. It's true.
You look good. You look good, Co.
Did he freeze? Is he frozen? I can't tell. Is he frozen?
I don't know what's happening.
But he's talking. How's he?
What's going on?
I don't understand. Is he frozen?
Yeah,
what is going on?
All right, we're good. Goof over.
Dude, that was a good joke. I love it. I dig it.
Good joke. Zeke, we got a whole bunch of indies to go through. You went back and did you finish Hong Kong Massacre? I know we talked a little bit about this when you played through it the first time, but
you goddamn right I did.
Yeah, worth going back and finishing.
Oh hell yeah, man! This game, if you liked Hotline Miami, like I don't want to be like the box quote, but like if you liked Hotline Miami, you're gonna love Hong Kong Massacre. But it's the truth. Do you like top-down twin stick shooters with like a gritty, bloody, like murderous feel? absolutely the game for you. Do you like John Woo? Even better, because this game, or Max Payne, like this game has rolling bullet time. I mean, look at this shit. How can you not feel like a fucking badass breaking through a window, rolling, shooting guys like as you're doing it the whole way through? And it's just a lot of fun. It's arcadey, awesome. I played it with a controller and it works just fine. I said I was going to go through the challenges, but it would have taken a really long time because some of the levels are pretty difficult in and of themselves without doing the challenges. And the challenges are each level has the same 3 challenges. Completed in under this amount of time, do it without missing a shot, and do it without doing slow-mo. That's the last kill. Yep, they always do the slow thing on the last kill.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there it is right there. See, the challenge is completed under minute 57, no slow motion, and perfect aim. You don't have to do them all at once. You can do like just a perfect aim run, just a no slow-mo run or whatever. But the game does get pretty difficult as it progresses. But I'll say it. I've said it before. I'll say it again, and I'll keep saying it. Good music, great music, can make a good game stellar, and this does that very, very well. The music in this game, the OST, is so goddamn good, and it matches what you're doing perfectly, kind of like Hotline did. Like the Hotline music was very, it was electronic, but it was trippy. Like this is just like great, like Hong Kong action flick background music, and it's like the scene in Kill Bill when she's taking on the crazy 88s all at once. Like the background music that's playing, it's just perfectly matched. Yeah, same kind of feeling. You're just like fucking badass, and it doesn't repeat. So when because you're gonna die a lot, it doesn't repeat. So when you die and you come back, the music keeps going, so it doesn't like start the song over again. Yeah. And it's just fantastic. The story, kind of cool. I think they could have done more with it because you're kind of left wondering at the end, but not in like a super great way at the end. Like what happened or how it like turned out and stuff.
That sucks.
But it's not bad though. It's a good story all the way through, but I wanted more, and I think they could have given me more without giving anything away. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They could have left you a little bit, or they could have given you a little bit more and left you wondering just a little bit less to make it just perfect. But I mean, the enemies get harder, the levels get harder. They're all like, I mean, you do fight a lot of similar enemies, but it felt like as the game progressed, I'm probably wrong about this, but it felt like the enemies got smarter.
Like the AI got better?
Smarter. Yeah, it felt like the AI got a little bit better. Huh. I'm probably wrong. There probably was just more of them, and I was just used to like flying through shit. I mean, look at that. I just flew through a door in slow motion while rolling, and I gunned down 2 guys. And you do that a lot, and it doesn't get boring. It's awesome. So much fun. But yeah, there's not a lot of like
what you see is what you get.
Things that you don't. Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot of hidden shit. It's what you see is what you get. If you like this, you'll fucking love it because it does everything in this genre just right.
Okay.
It's called, in case you're wondering, the Hong Kong Massacre is down there. It is. 1 second here. Let me get up the store page. It is $19.99 on Steam, so it's a $20 game. And I would say if you like doing challenges and stuff, for me, totally worth $20.
All right. You went from that the next day starting Unavowed. Was this another Indie Sunday game, or is this first time? Okay.
This was a game that people had suggested that I play a lot. They kept suggesting it, and I never actually got to it. and it just kept getting pushed back on the back burner, on the back burner, back burner. It was from August 2018. It's got that like a retro point and click feel, and look. But it came out last year, and people said, "Have you like point and clicks? Have you checked that out? Have you checked it out? Have you checked it out?" And it eventually got to the point where I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna take a look at it." I didn't have any games to play, and I said, "You know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna play Unavowed because people have said." And it's fun. It's great. It's absolutely exactly what you want. If you like point and clicks, you'll like this game. It's a good addition into that lexicon of games. It's a squad of people who investigate and solve supernatural crimes, basically. The guy in the top hat, the guy in the fedora is a fire mage.
I was about to ask what his role in he stands out amongst that cast of characters.
You have your choice of protagonist, male, female. I chose the female protagonist. She's on the right hand side there. He's a fire mage. The lady standing next to him is a djinn. A genie. Yep. That's the blue dude in the middle. That's her father. And that's you on the right hand side. And you discover like at the beginning of the game that you have some funky powers. Psychic ESPs ish powers. And as like I've only played a few hours of it. I've played 7 hours of it, so I did one broadcast of it. And you gather more people to the squad, and then it has like an RPG element where you're going to go investigate this place. You get to take 2 people. Who do you take? Kind of a thing. And one of the situations that I got into after I puzzled my way out of it, I went, what was that thing? Because I didn't use that. What was that? And then it dawned on me like that's how you puzzle your way out of it with a different character.
Oh, so okay.
Meaning
sense.
like put it to you this way. You have a like steel bars on a window, and you have a door with like an electronic lock. You can take Electric Man, who can zap the lock, or you can take Strong Man, who can bend the bars, kind of a thing. Like whoever you bring, there are ways to puzzle your way out of it. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Usually it's like one solution for one thing, but yeah.
Yeah.
In the adventure games that you've played, which is a lot and talked about here on the show, which is a lot. That's the first time that's ever been brought up. So that's a cool feature. A cool way to address that.
Are all puzzle solvable with any party though? I'm not sure.
Oh.
I would imagine anything that you have to puzzle your way out of, that yes. Like this part, the part I'm talking about, I got locked into a place.
Oh, okay.
But however, there are certain things you can't do without certain party members. Like if you want to like freeze this puddle of water so you can walk across it because it's ice, you have to have that person to do it. But you can always go back and get them. Whereas the thing I'm talking about is they kind of locked you in a place and you had to figure out how to get out. So they have to provide you with the means no matter who you bring.
You said streamed it for 7 hours, didn't finish it, right? Still more to go. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, totally. Yeah. I'm betting I got at least 2, if not 3 more broadcasts, just by having played point and clicks before.
Sure. Okay. And then we'll do some Indie Sunday here. Although,
Oh, is it voice acted? Yes, it is. It's very well voice acted, and it's funny. Let me just say that. Sorry.
No.
It's actually quite humorous. The dialogue is well written and self-aware and a lot of fun.
Oh, it looks like the Twitch. I usually go by the Twitch chapter shit, but it looks like it's all fucky for. Oh no, now it's working. Now that I loaded it in. All right, we'll start on the latest Indie Sunday. Paratopic was the first.
Yes.
Game. Looks a little cyber.
That was an experience, dude.
Punky. Is this Paratopic? It loaded the wrong button.
Does it look old school? Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. This does not look cyberpunky. Never mind.
It's purposefully done in the old like GoldenEye kind of era of graphics.
God. Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Now that you said that,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. It's purposely done that way. And I think the reason they did it in that style of graphics is to add to the surrealness of the game, because this game it's less of a game and more of an experience.
Okay.
It's like a choose your own adventure game. It's one of those kind where you don't really have to be skillful. It's a story that plays out, and it's affected. Excuse me. It's affected by the choices you make. There are different paths you can take to get to the end of the game. It doesn't take that long. It only took me about 45 minutes to get through one playthrough. But I played through it again, and there are different choices, different dialogue. This is the question. If you ask me if this game is voice acted, I would be forced to say yes. But it's voice acted in a garbled, like double speak. It's not nonsense. It's not like The Sims. It's not like Ooga.
Yeah. It's not Zelda.
This one is like you can sort of make out the words. It's like someone took a recording of the voices, warped the recording, and then sped it up took turns speeding it up and slowing down the warped thing, so you can make out some of the brain. And then sometimes they just speak. Yeah, exactly, right? It's a funky, fucked up game, and I enjoyed it a lot. Very Twin Peaksy, yes.
Oh, okay. That you should have. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Now. I understand. You got me at Twin Peaks. I understand everything now.
Yeah. Let me see. No, yeah, totally. Very much David Lynch style of surreal gameplay. The game is $5.50. If what I've said appeals to you, I would say it's a good $5 experience. It's don't watch my playthrough though. This part is fine. You can leave the VOD here. No, I'm just saying, don't watch my playthrough because I don't want it to spoil anything for you. I don't want to ruin it because it's not that long.
I didn't.
It's only like
I was like,
yeah.
But
Don't watch me. I'm terrible. Don't. Play it yourself. For the love of God.
yeah. I get it. Okay. All right. Well, we'll move on then. We'll move on. $5 you said, PC, right? That's a platform.
Yep.
Okay.
$5 on Steam. Yep. Paratopic or Topic. I'm not sure.
This is Bloodlust 2 Nemesis.
Oh my God.
This looks like a winner.
Oh man. I felt like a disappointed dad when I played this game, meaning like you're not living up to your potential, son. Like you got so much good things going for you. Why don't you use them? And this game has a lot of potential. It has like good RPG elements. It looks pretty decent. Bearing in mind that it is an indie game, but it just has enough stuff going in the bad column, like that makes it. It means I can't recommend it.
Oh.
It's just funny. But it's not funny on purpose. You play a vampire. You know what? Let me just read the blurb. Here. Bloodlust 2 Nemesis is a hack and slash dungeon crawling action RPG experience that will allow players to explore the dark underworld of a forgotten society of vampires and their disciplines, all while trying to solve the secrets of their bloodlines' scientifically enhanced monstrous power.
I'm more confused than prior to you reading that.
They're finding out that people are using science to enhance vampiric abilities and stuff. Huh. And the mystery is to try to figure out how and why and all this kind of stuff and who's doing it. and that kind of
Sound?
thing. Yeah, it sounds cool, man, but goddamn, it's like if you took Vampire Bloodlines and took away every single ounce of charm. Like, yeah, it's stale, I think is the best way I can put it.
Huh.
There's
okay.
no, like, it doesn't feel like there's any stakes. Vampire joke stakes.
Nice.
Yeah, it doesn't feel important. And that makes it become like boring. So
All right.
but it has some of the shit in the right spot. Like it has RPG, it has hidden places. You can get like minions. Like Mindy is my fucking minion, and I can just summon her whenever I feel like it. And let me tell you, the funny thing is, the first time you take her into battle, she's an ass kicker. Like she just took care of like 3 dudes. Like, and I was just like, wow, Mindy, holy shit.
All right. Okay.
Get a Mindy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go Mindy. Mindy number
Good
1.
idea, bad execution. Yes, Philippa. That's exactly what I would say. Let me just, in big, bold letters, just in case this game gets like really good later on, it is still early access.
Oh.
So take that into
How early?
consideration.
Yeah. How? When was it
Like it's
posted?
out of the month, or it just came onto early access?
It says release date August 23rd, 2018.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like 4 months, 5 months,
Yeah.
whatever.
$14.99 is what it is on Steam, and I wouldn't pay that much. Maybe $5
All right.
with this game would be worth.
I'm gonna
know.
think this next one is a skip because you played it for 19 minutes. But let's just go to it and see the monstrosity that is games and demos because there's no title to it. Generic, dirty wall. What is this?
This game is called The Shedding, like a dog is shedding,
Okay.
or a cat or whatever. The Shedding is a first-person horror game, an unsettling, dark, and disturbing game set in an abandoned prison. The game is short, about 15 minutes. Will you be able to make it through, or will The Shedding be a nightmare of terror for you? First things first.
Nightmare.
The game is $1.
Okay.
It's $1.
Okay.
I will say, it was worth it. It was worth it to stream it for $1. Would I recommend it to someone playing on their own? No, because it's a good experience to have with other people to watch. The streamer get scared or whatever. Because there were some really good. It felt like a project. It felt like a student project. It was like, all right, I'm going to fuck around with sight and sound and try and induce anxiety and fear. And it did it. It was pretty good. But there's nothing in the game other than like sounds and sight. There's no game aspect of it. Like you're not like picking up anything, running from anything. It's just you're walking through this place. It's like walking through a haunted house. The things it does right. The sounds really good. It's like horror movie walking through a horror movie. Pretty good. The sights also not too shabby. You see like out of the corner of your eye very quickly within your sight field this like what appears to be like and I say appears because I didn't really get a good look at it, but appears to be like a psychotic naked man running in front of you. But was it? I'm not sure. But I was like, it went and I was like, was that just a fucking crazy naked guy running in front of me? But it does like footsteps, breathing, like outside breathing and this kind of stuff. It does pretty well. So I hope that Gem Rose Accent, whoever they are, I hope they actually make a game with some game elements. Because if this was an experiment on sight and sound, how to induce anxiety and fear, pretty goddamn good job for a first foray. Now it's time to make a game out of it.
All right.
$1, it's $1. So I can't say like shitty things about it because $1.
Sure. Gotcha. Healer's Quest. Next up on the chopping block.
Now, dude, I did not see this game or I did not count on me liking this game. This game is fucking good. Okay. It is really good.
All right.
I thought it was going to be like a cutesy mess. It is not. It is cute. You can see it right there. It's cute. However, the thing that this game does really, really well is it shits on RPGs in such a wonderful and accurate fashion. Not RPGs, like MMOs, because you play the healer, and that's all you play. You're the protagonist. You play the healer, and every other character just shits on you. like they just don't care about you. Because the tank is a tank, the DPSs are just that. They're all like super, like there's like they're cocky, they're dude bros, they're like all that shit, and the healer's like, you guys like, and if they die, like they blame you for everything. And it's got a fucking great sense of humor. All of the male characters in the game are very, very like adolescent, like portrayed as like, oh, you're a hot chick. That's all I want is some hot chicks in the party, and like that kind of stuff. The tank is kind of big and dopey. The axe wielding dwarfish kind of character is like appropriately like brazen and brash and that kind of shit. But the other thing I really want to point out in this game, if you play it on the hard difficulty, it's hard. It's fucking hard. You have to heal your entire, you play the healer the entire time. You have to heal your party throughout these encounters. And it's not easy. And if you've never played a healer in any like MMO setting or group game setting, if you've never played the support or healer category, play this fucking game and then thank every healer you ever play with from then on. Nice. Because it's fucking thankless. It makes you feel like you're underappreciated, and it gives you an appreciation for how difficult the healing task is. But it's you gain skills as the game moves on. Gain spells, different. You get skill points to spend in the spells. So healing costs less, like magic points, so on and so forth. There's trees. There's skill trees for every spell. It's pretty deep as far as upgrades go. And you have to decide which spells to use when. So there is definitely some strategy to it. So do I want to use Stone Skin on the tank and then hit meditate and then do this? Because meditate is how you gain back your magic points. But if you're meditating, you can't cast spells, so you have to pick your times like in between, and your party dies a lot if you play it on the hardest difficulty. And you have to do encounters like over and over again. It's fucking fantastic. I didn't think I was all right. I'll play this for like half an hour and then be like, man, no. Yeah, I can fully put my support behind this game. It is $14.99 on Steam. It's by Rablo Games. Came out April 18th. It's almost a year old, so it's been around for a while. But that was the whole point of last Indie Sunday, it was my 0 minutes played edition, where all the games that were kind of passed over throughout the year that I didn't get to or weren't voted for by the audience, going through all of those that I paid money for, I would like to play them. So we're gonna go through all the ones that haven't got picked, and this was one of them, and it's fantastic. I had a really good time. Yep.
Healer's Quest is a winner. The final game. Oh, I know what this game is, and I'm actually curious to talk to you about it. Bloody Spell, which looks like Nier or something.
It's like Neo.
Yeah, Neo. That's the word I'm looking for, not Nier. Yeah, what is it actually good?
Japanese caster play this, and I thought it was a Japanese only release when I saw it. I'd never heard of anyone playing it. I'm very curious what you think about this thing.
It looks good. Combat needs work. That's
Yeah?
exactly right. Psycho.
Bummer.
It's jank. The combat is a little jank. It doesn't feel like it's 100% perfected yet, or the way they wanted it to be. It's tough. I played on the hardest difficulty, and it's very, very difficult. But the controls. Why? Because I played it with a controller, and the controls don't feel. It's not like spongy, but it's not precise.
Huh.
The camera work, like when I was moving the camera around, it felt like it was on like ticks of a clock. Like when I was moving the third person camera around, it felt like when I would move it, if I didn't move it, if I moved it like halfway, it would move the other half to like, if it's at like 3 o'clock and I wanted it to be at 4 o'clock, I would move it halfway between, and then it would just go by itself to the next one. I don't know. Very, very funky. The jumping is erratic and really touchy. What I think this game could benefit from is a slowed down, like more deliberate actions. This game it's too erratic. Like you jump around really fast, you're slashing really fast. I think with more deliberate actions, it would feel more satisfying when you slice, when you jump. You feel like when you jump and land, it would feel like you had weight and you landed on something. As it is, you feel like feather, like really, really light, and not. If it doesn't feel like you have a weight as a person or as a tune. And the translation, that's what kept me playing. That's what kept me playing for as long as I did, because the translation is so awesomely English. It's some of the best. It's some of the best that I've come across.
Is it voice acted or just typed Englishly?
Yeah,
that's a word.
God, I hope like if we can get to like some of because when you die, you come back, and it feels like that's the other thing. Correct me if anyone knows better. But when you die, it feels like a roguelike. Like you die and you come back in a different place. So every time. Some places look similar, but if you get skill, you can keep like. If I level this thing up, it says I can keep this sword for when I die again.
Huh.
Oh, it is a roguelike.
Yeah, chat's saying it is.
Okay. Oh, so it's totally a roguelike. Okay. That's something I was not aware of when I started, because I play a lot of indie games, so I'm not I'm hesitant to say this is what it is. Because sometimes it's not at all, and it feels like another genre of game, and it's really not. So I didn't want to say it's roguelike, but you die, you come back in a different spot. It's similar, but not exactly the same, and you get skills that let you keep certain things throughout the game. Like, eventually, I was able to keep one of my weapons that I died with.
Okay.
Kind of thing, yeah.
How much is it?
Let's see. Bloody Spell is also I should just look at the store page right off the bat. Early access, still early access. Right now you can get it for $13.19. It's on sale. Normally sells for $19.99. Came out I think it's maybe started in early access January 15th of this year, 2019. I'm just reading it, like you get this disembodied dialogue, like it's talking to you. You don't know where it's coming from, but it just says some of the things like, "I always appreciate you for this." Like, what?
Some
What
grade A English. Yeah.
Oh God, it's so
Some
good. Some of that shit is so good. But yeah, it says the blurb says this is a martial arts action role-playing game. The core of the game is battle-oriented and combines many fighting elements. If you are a player who pursues blood and is brave enough to challenge the limits, it will definitely inspire your adrenaline and bring you the best combat experience. So,
Oh, good, JP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Timing. Wow. Thank you.
Cool.
But yep, Bloody Spell. That's it.
All right.
Early access.
That's it. Early access. Let me see if they're. Yeah, that was the final game on Indie Sunday. And then the Beat Sabering. How's the Beat Sabering going? Still feeling it? Still
It's
into it?
great.
Yeah.
I love the mods. The mods are actually very, very, very good quality of life stuff. I have Twitch chat in there. I have a fixed camera now. I can have I was having problems with the barriers that were coming because you have to like duck and move around barriers and whatnot, and they weren't see-through. Mod takes care of that, makes the barriers see-through, so you never lose sight of what's going on as a spectator. The song list download request system is great. All I have to do is go to the menu, see the song request. Once I finish song, hit next song, I see what's next and all that kind of stuff. And it's Twitch integrated. So all people have to do is come into the chat and request a song, and then it goes in chronological order. Lots of different ways you can do it. Of course, most people, or a lot of people who come in, want put in like, this game is expert plus only, which is a fucking ridiculous shit show.
Yeah.
That you'd have to spend a month to get it right.
Sure.
If it's at all possible, because it seems like you would have to be like an arm swinging robot to get them right, because the blocks are so stacked on top of each other.
Yeah.
In order to get like the slices that you need without cutting the box next to it, the motion is like hummingbird fast that you would have to be. I mean, it seems ridiculous.
I read
some of the songs that Expert Plus, but it's not like it's not like Mario Maker. You don't have to complete the level to put it up on the mod thing. Bear in mind, okay, let's just say this. This is a mod. This is not part of the core game. The core game is great and doable.
Yeah, I read I don't know, someone tweeted me something after you talked about Beat Saber that Valve was actually like releasing new sensors because they didn't realize that, or not Valve, Vive, I guess is who I should say. They were trying to release new sensors because Beat Saber players specifically were moving faster than they thought was humanly possible to play this game. And so the stuff that they were actually doing in the game was too fast. So the sensors wouldn't pick it up and they couldn't actually complete a song. So they're releasing a higher refresh sensor or some shit like that.
I made that
kind of crazy to think about.
Comparison while I was playing the game. I said, bear in mind, while I say like this is not humanly possible, I've watched many GDQ runs where they're like, they used to think this was Taz only, but it's not. And Taz means tool assisted speed run, which means robotic, like a electronic, perfect shit. Like they used to think that this was not humanly possible. It is. So I'm fully willing to say like it probably is. It doesn't seem that way.
Clarification, thanks to chat. It was a firmware update, not a physical release or anything like that of the sensors. So it was a firmware update to track how fast people are moving, which is still kind of crazy to think about. But that is that. Let me just scan the news to see if there's anything really worth talking about. Sekiro's getting a lot of love this past week or so. There's been a lot of I think
Sekiro's awesome.
It's looking really good, yeah. I can never pronounce his name, so yes. Elijah? I don't know. Elias. Yes.
There we go.
Okay.
He played it for like over an hour. I watched a lot of that stream.
I watched about 45 minutes.
Great.
Yeah.
Like, and what's even cooler is what he played was a 6-month-old demo. So it's like a lot of the stuff in there has gotten a lot of love and care since then. And I would have played what he was playing, like straight up what he was playing. I'm like,
looks good.
Cool. Give me that. So yeah, it's looking really, really good.
Yeah.
I have a feeling like any one of a number of streamers would play like, all right, we'll give you the character model and that's it. You get to swing the sword and that's all you get to do. Like this. And they'd be like an hour of just like, oh man, look at that sword. Look at that arm.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I didn't realize this, but Vati, who's a big Souls guy on YouTube, put up a video that is 15 minutes long, but it's from the first 5 hours of Sekiro that just went live about 3 hours ago. So that might be worth watching. And then PlayStation's out there putting a bunch of stuff, somewhat spoilery. They're talking about some of the bosses in the game. I'm really curious how many actual, in chat, you guys might be able to tell us this, but how many bosses are actually going to be in the game itself? I don't know if that information is out there. Yeah,
I don't want to know. I don't care.
I only want to know because they've teased like, or shown outright like 4 bosses so far. So who knows how many there's actually in the game. But apart from that, it's kind of a dry news week. Games are just coming out. That has been the news. Don't Make Cry 5 this week. Division 2 next Friday. Sekiro the week after that. So they're kind of taking up the big news. Yeah, there's the Sonic stuff. Did you guys see what Sonic looks like in the new movie? Did you see that monstrosity? Because that's a sight to behold. That's a fucking
dude.
Oh, it's delicious.
Thing. Yeah, that's a thing that exists. The funny part is, I saw someone do a mock-up of the same Sonic, the same type of like fur and everything, but they had like super long legs and made his torso very thin, like it would be like in a video game. It actually looked like 1,000 times better. It didn't look like a fucking freak of nature. It didn't look like a human wearing a Sonic furry suit. It looked like an actual Sonic. So hopefully,
Way to say it.
Yeah,
A good way to say it. Yeah.
Hopefully,
Can you show it, or is that will it get claimed or something? Or
Well, that was on Reddit for a little bit.
Yeah, I can. You just saying try to which part, Zeke? I can show either. I'm just asking.
Show the shitty one that everybody's making fun of. I want to remember because I'm having trouble remembering exactly what it looks like, and also like for those that are on mobile or whatever.
Yeah. It. Here we go. Sorry, it's taking a second to bring it up. Yeah, I don't know why they're doing this. Why they decided to go this direction, but that's Sonic from the movie. It looks real rough. It looks rough.
Shut up. It's not that far from the truth, though.
Sonic.
Which is kind of sad.
Yeah. Let me try to find the actual image. Okay, here it is.
Oh, I gotta go fast. I gotta go fast. Mom says I'm the fastest in the whole school.
Yeah, this is a very small version of it for whatever reason that came from this site. But this is the actual image of Sonic the Hedgehog from the apparent movie coming out. Looks like a human in a fursuit, man. And maybe that's the big reveal. Maybe that's the reveal at the end of the Sonic. He fucking just like unzips, and it's just like this weird guy.
And it's Gavin. And he's like, I'm here!
Yeah.
Hello, everybody!
Yeah.
Sonic now on Steam!
Yeah. Jesus. It's it's a thing. I think chat's posting the one that let me show this as well. This is what I was referencing. Is this one image or two? Here it is. Perfect. This is what I was referencing. The one on the left is the actual one that they're using. The one on the right is the one that I was saying that they should just gone with, and it looks 1,000,000,000 times better.
Well, no.
It's from Reddit, by the way.
What a lot of people are saying is the reason that they have him look like he does on the left is because that's the most they are able to make an actual human look like. So they want to just make a bunch of suits and ship them all over to cons and stuff.
Oh.
And the thinking is that is going to be what an actual person looks like. But still, I mean, that's not a good idea.
God. Whew, that is yikes. That's a thing.
And also, there's a swoosh on the shoes there.
He's got some
like,
Nike shoes.
I was gonna say, a Nike getting involved with this shit.
I think so. Yeah. I think
All
so.
right.
I mean, Adidas has like what Dragon Ball Z shoes, the 4 like Goku, Piccolo type shoes out there. So the sneakerheads are into furry stuff as well. There's some crossover there in those two worlds. Apparently, I don't know. I didn't know. We should have brought this up. It completely escaped my train of thought when we were talking with Mathis earlier. But the Method announced PoE esports yesterday with Ziz, Steel. I'm blanking on the other names. Chad will have to help me here, and I'll have to find the post as well. But Method is jumping into PoE racing as, I guess, an esport. They picked up four different content creators / players of the game, and are trying to push kind of like what they've done with World of Warcraft when it comes to their like world first race and a lot of their like mythic dungeon race stuff. And they're going to try and see if it works for Path of Exile. More power to them. That stuff obviously has an audience. It does pretty well whenever the races come up towards the end of the league, or towards the end of leagues in Path of Exile. So we'll see what happens with it. That was announced yesterday, but there was not much announcement around it. So I think a lot of that stuff is going to just depend on how much GGG supports it. I think that's kind of the next step to decide how big that stuff actually gets. If they feature, like a PoE race that's live from ExileCon or something later this year, that would be fucking cool. I could totally see that being a thing that would make sense for something like that. But we'll see what happens, how it actually occurs, and what it all means. A lot of news still to come, I think, from that, in terms of how it's all broken down. But congrats to the 4 players. Do what?
So that's going to be interesting because like other esport things, kind of understood companies wanting to get involved because, there's sponsorship deals and they get their logos all over the place. But the Path of Exile leveling leagues are pretty much directly kind of contained in the streamers that do it. There's not really like a lot of exterior infrastructure involved. So it's an interesting place for them to interject themselves. We'll have to see kind of how that goes.
Yeah.
More power to the streamers that are getting sponsored, though. I mean, that's awesome.
Oh yeah, it's a win for them without a doubt.
Yeah.
I hope I hope Method is able to kind of carry the flag for that stuff and push it to new heights. And I think so do they, and so do the streamers that signed with them. They definitely believe in it. We'll just see if everyone else does. Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to do it. I think that's it for our show. So we'll do some shout outs and call it a drop frames. Zeke, we'll start with you. What's going on your channel and where people check you out?
Oh shit, Ziz is here. Hey Ziz.
Hey Ziz, how's it going?
What's up, everybody? Thank you guys. Thank you everybody for watching today. I appreciate it. My name is Ezekiel III. If you want to find me, you can find me at or / Ezekiel_III. You can big thank you to Mathil, our guest today. And thank you to Co and JP for being great co-hosts. If you want to catch me, I will be on in a little less than an hour on twitch.tv/tablestory for another episode of Nocturne, the urban horror series, tabletop series that I've been doing. And it's a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun. Picture like a edgier Supernatural kind of a thing. Remember that? You know that series?
Are you
like that.
Are you Dean or who's?
No, I'm a pornographic film producer.
Okay.
Actually,
That's Dean basically in a nutshell, really.
Yeah, that's basically Dean. But if you want to catch me doing like regular games, I'll be on at noon Pacific doing Unavowed. Back to the point and click game that I've been playing, and it's a lot of fun and it's funny, and I hope to see you there.
Cool. Co, what's going on the channel and where can people check you out?
For sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Co. As always, big thanks to Zeke and JP, and a special thank you to Mathil. It was awesome hearing a lot about the history of where he came from and what he does. That was fantastic. You can find me every day streaming at 8:30 a.m. Tomorrow at 8:30, we have a very special all-day stream coming at you so I hope to see you there for it. It should be a lot of fun. Also, we've got PoE starting probably on Saturday, and we've also got some more of my time at Portia and other things as well. Also, I'm just going to go ahead and announce this now. A couple quick things. First of all, first announcement, I'm going to be starting my Pathfinder Kingmaker replay soon. I have been playing this game into the ground off stream. I really just want to get started with it. So I know a lot of people have been looking forward to that. It is going to be maybe starting as early as next week. It may be broken up a little bit with Sekiro and everything, but man, I got to dive back in. I have to. And also, little bit of an early warning for you guys. As many of you know, I have a second child due any day now, and I mean that. Like, my other kid was born a month early, and we are in that window now with my second kid. So what that means is that whenever that does happen, I'll probably be taking a little bit of a break from drop frames. I will return at some point, but just like my first kid, it'll probably take me like a month, maybe even longer, to kind of get all of my daily routines in order. So you may not see me here for a little bit. Of course, we will have a fill-in. So of course, keep your eyes on the Drop Frames Twitter and JP's Twitter, as they will be calling those out. And I will also I will also do that as well. Anyway, that's about it. And as always, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully see you next week.
See, Cole, this is why you don't have kids. They start to take your bandwidth even before they're born.
I know, right? My lord, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You're in 1990. Well, you guys are in like 2016 here.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. It's evening out a little bit.
Yeah, if you sang Wang Chung, I'd totally be there. Everybody Wang Chung.
Jesus Christ. All right, we're out of here. We'll see you guys next week for more. Hopefully we'll be talking about how good DMC 5 and Path of Exile is. And I guess getting ready for Sekiro and more Division or something like that. So,
are you going to be planning on playing Division 2?
I think I'm going to check it out. Yeah, we might even be playing it as soon as next Wednesday, because apparently they have like the early access version of the game or something that launches next Wednesday, I think. So I just want to see.
Next Wednesday?
Yeah, I think that's when it starts, is the 12th, which is next Wednesday, right?
Oh my.
Is that accurate? Maybe it starts next Tuesday.
Is there a time?
I don't know. It's like the $100 version that gets you in 3 days early or something. Yeah, it's a little bit pricey. So, but it's hopefully it's not an Anthem, right? So,
Or 76.
or 76.
Hey, if Division's your thing, apparently Division 2 is looking like more Division 1. So I mean, it's more. It's a good time to be a Division fan.
Yes, that's a good way to put it, for sure. I hope we're ranting and raving about Div 2 in some sort of way. So that's it for us, though, for Drop Frames. We'll see you guys next week at 1 p.m. Eastern for more. We're out. We'll see you then. Bye.